Continue dissecting this issue that's troubling the country. 400 days to the next general election, the country is facing a serious security issue. We may call it goonism, we may call it gangs, we may call it general insecurity, but it's a problem nonetheless. But we do have at least one person who's aspiring to be president. And Prof, you know you've been accused so many times of being very idealistic, and some of your ideas may not be practical, but if you were president today, what would you do? How would you correct this problem?
I've told you the Kenyan problem is economic, and it's being mismanaged by corruption, one. Two, mispriorities. We are putting money on the wrong part of the economy. We should put them on the right part of the economy. And then, of course, we are just overspending. If you solve those three problems, everyone will have life. And let me just try to explain you what's the problem. An economy where the youth fears tomorrow is not a stable economy. Because every youth fears tomorrow. There's no youth who looks at tomorrow with optimism. When I was growing up, we used to fear Monday. Why? Because it was a day of work. But now, who fears Monday? No one has a job. So when you go and fix the corruption problem, EACC should be disbanded immediately. EACC has taken 58 billion shillings from Kenya.
And Prof, we're talking about specifics because you say you have a direct...
So I've told you, corruption ends with EACC being dead. You understand me? Everybody who has stolen money should just go to the right criminal way, because we have all the structures. We are creating too many institutions for nothing to spend our money. As we speak about youth unemployment that you've heard PS talking about, do you know there's called Employment Authority of Kenya? With a website where you should go register and get a job. And that website never works. Go in it now. Anybody listening to me, go register to get a job in Youth Employment Authority. There's a website which doesn't work.
And Prof, I think we agree there are things that don't work.
I'm simply saying...
During the break, you're suggesting that you have a direct solution to this problem.
Yes.
You even talked about a prototype. I want us to take us through that prototype.
100,000 jobs.
A direct solution to this problem of unemployment.
So my solution, I call it a silver bullet. Because the Kenyan problems are four. One, high debt. Two, high inflation. Three, over-taxation, which is creating a burden on people's lives. Four, purchasing power of the Kenyan shilling is very weak. And of course, lastly, unemployment. With creating 100,000 jobs per county, you bring 4.7 million taxpayers to the tax bucket, and you lower the burden on Kenyans. So that is solved.
In one go.
In one go. Debt problem, when you are having more people paying taxes from these jobs they've created, there's no more borrowing. You get me? And of course, this is going to review that. That's not the story of debt review, isn't it? Inflation. When we are producing more and there's less demand, inflation goes down. When you produce that you can export, immediately the Kenya shillings come under high demand, and for that matter, the Kenya shillings become strong. That even lowers the cost of importing fuel and the rest. Now you're asking, how do you create these jobs? Fred, go to who has done well, America. America started producing sugar cane. And the sugar cane is what built the American economy. If you read my book called Solomonic Economics, explained in details. For us, we are investing money on housing, isn't it? On railway. Those are end-use products. They never work. You have to win from primary production. And I'm going to do large-scale primary production of agricultural products for export. When I go to Lamu, for example...
So 100,000 jobs per county.
Per county.
In agriculture.
Yes, which means 3,300 per ward, which means 2,200 per polling station. That's actually per village. That problem is solved. The formula is simple, Fred. When I go to Lamu, actually I've taken some, I don't want to mention because you know people here, but 100,000, if I get 50,000 acres of land is in Lamu, the immediate thing you do, you get people, two youths per acre is 100,000. You don't have to wait for the products to mature. We are building railway, which might be productive 10 years later, isn't it? Why not start this one and start paying these people immediately? They are in a job, and you put a seed capital, and the jobs are produced. It's as simple as such.
Okay.
Because, Fred, if I tell you the truth, do you know, let me just give you an analogy, and I'm sorry to use this example. If I give you a condom, what will you use it for? Only one function. Listen. But if I go and build let's say, a farm which has got trees that produce latex, isn't it? Latex can produce rubber. Rubber can produce everything. So we should not start at the end user like housing. Housing is an end user product.
Okay.
Economic shows that you start from primary production, you create a value chain for everybody, so everybody earns. But here is whereby you are building a house. Only the one who can afford the house can use it.
Okay.
But I believe we need to go to primary production.
Okay.
When Kenya was focusing on primary production, economy was much better. Now we are just focusing on end user products like railway. Like now, I'm sorry for my brother Osido, who believes that taking SGR to Kisumu will help. Railway.
Prof, I didn't say
sorry.
I believe it.
No,
Just to move on from there. I think we've done the diagnosis.
Fred, I'm finishing. Railway went to Kisumu in 1901, isn't it? SGR is another name for railway. Standard gauge railway. It will still go to Kisumu in 2026, and poverty will be there again 20 years later, 50 years later.
I want us to go beyond now diagnosing where the problem is. We look at the potential risks.